Pollution and Aclima, we are a San Francisco-based startup that design and deploy environmental sensor networks that enable to increase the awareness of people. Our general goal is to improve human and planetary health, as when we live aware, we are likely to create a healthier environment and a more productive future. Our strategy is to make data on air quality as easily accessible as the weather, so that communities can better understand how air pollutants in their area are affecting human health and climate change, and start a dialogue on improving local air quality. Moving on to the application part, we will now talk about who exactly needs the data and could benefit from it. Offices need this data to explain why. I will start by mentioning the problems. Chemicals found in paint, furniture, and flooring, so-called volatile organic compounds, as well as air pollutants such as carbon dioxide, are dangerous to breathe and are known to reduce cognitive functioning. All of these mentioned above exist in indoor offices. In fact, according to the Environmental Protection Agency, indoor air pollution can be up to 100 times worse than the outdoor air pollution. Additionally, the impact of the pollution is worsened by the fact that we spend so much time indoors. Thus, we can clearly see that the pollution has a negative effect on creativity, as it limits the cognitive skills of the worker. There will be impacts on environment, economy, and social. For environment, less pollution means less harm to the environment. And for economy, as we increase workers' creativity, we're optimizing the working method, which could lead to more profit for the company in some ways. And for social, positive effect on health of the workers, psychological benefits, as pollution has a negative impact on psychological behavior. In the offices, a more positive and friendly atmosphere is likely to take place. We will now use the Google case in order to explain how the offices can use the data. Aclima and Google together set up a total of 6,000 sensors in 500 nodes throughout 21 Google buildings around the world. The system processes 500 million data points each day on indoor environmental quality, such as comfort measures of temperature, humidity, noise, light, and air pollutants. This information enables Google to analyze environmental factors in their offices, and also it allows them to make better decisions on workplace design in order to support productivity, creativity, and well-being of their workers. Talent loss in China. In fact, with the atmospheric pollution getting worse, many foreign companies must pay extra hazard subsidies to retain talent assigned to Beijing or Shanghai. For example, when a mobile phone research and development center was recruiting senior specialists, all 17 candidates under consideration refused to be assigned to Beijing. 15 gave air pollution as a reason. This gives us more reasons to expand our method and technologies to China. Now we are going to talk about the government. Air pollution is not just a threat to our citizens' health, but it's also damaging our natural environment, buildings, national parks, and cities. From 2005 to 2010, the number of deaths caused by outdoor air pollution from China increased by 5%, from about 1.215 million people in 2005 to around 1.278 million people in 2010. Air pollution makes economic losses in China every year. According to an OECD report in 2014, global health costs caused by outdoor air pollution were $3.5 trillion every year, while the number for China is $1.4 trillion, accounting for 40% of worldwide costs. China has underinvested in environmental protection, but it has been catching up, and we expect China's environmental investment to increase 60%. Why environmental data is needed? Deliver health advices to communities, and thereby will enable informed decision-making for healthier outcomes in a large spectrum of places. In 2013, China had the most smog days since 1961, and Beijing was the most polluting city among the 4 municipal cities. After China declared war on pollution in September 2013, as the capital of the county, Beijing has made tremendous effort to reduce emissions. Taking the source of Beijing pollution, for instance, Around one-third of the pollution in Beijing is actually from neighboring regions, including Shanxi, Hebei, Shandong, and Inner Mongolia. Such imported pollution requires a cross-region cooperation, which has been constrained by the uneven economic development and lack of coordination among these regions, making on-field pollution control efforts hard to implement. The improvements of mobile sensor networks made in the recent years by our company could make possible the deployment of low-cost networked sensors in polluted cities such as Beijing. Mobile wireless sensor networks consist on equipping vehicles with Aclima's mobile sensing platforms. Buses are likely to be the best type of vehicles to be equipped with, due to their repetitive routes through cities, which provides us a perfect platform for Aclima's sensing technology. It will permit the company to take community-scale snapshots of pollution and greenhouse gases. Therefore, in just a few days of driving, an interconnected urban system comes into focus. The project has an ambitious goal of convincing the decision makers and government to take into account which places are the most affected and how they could tackle it. For example, Aclima sensors could inform city leaders of where their community's air pollution is the worst, or even at dangerous level, and then take the necessary steps to reduce it. How the government will use this data. Limits established by the government on the annual amounts and kinds of pollutants that can be emitted into the air. The Air Pollution Action Plan, China announced in 2011 its goal to reduce its carbon intensity by 17% in 2015 from 2010 levels. With the 12th five-year plan, China aims to cut 2015 carbon intensity by 17% to around 223 grams per RMB from 269 grams per RMB in 2010. In order to reduce carbon intensity, the government needs to implement an efficient way to control those emissions and quantify it. To do so, Aclima's sensor could be very useful, especially in the less developed regions, where the environmental control and supervision are not efficient. Their policies consist on four main areas: complete supervision mechanism, stricter penalty, better incentives, and finally more information disclosure. Now we are going to talk about smart devices, sick people. As we know that air pollution will cause many diseases that relate to death, such as COPD and asthma. For asthma, which is caused by combined factors which relate to air pollution, and there are around 10,000 people died because of asthma in China each year, and there are around 30% of adults in China suffering from it. There is an important pollutant called PM, which directly links to patients' potential for health problems. It's harmful because it can get deep into your lungs and some may even get into your bloodstream. As you can see from the picture, most of the cities in China have PM level over 20 grams per square meter, and some are even over 40, while the standard level is 10. So sick people in China really should concern about the air pollution and need air quality data to make corresponding actions. How to use the data? According to the real-time data collected by Aclima sensor, patients can decide when and how to reduce their exposure or increase medication usage. For example, they may decide not going to somewhere and they can know whether they should inhale more medicine or not. A report showed that there is 30 million respiratory disease patients in China. About 80% fail to effectively control the diseases and less than 5% have received standard treatment. It has been calculated that if patient treatment could be better monitored, 80% of all asthma-related hospitalization could be avoided, and the mortality rate from asthma could be reduced by 20%. A pilot study has shown that 60% of all asthma patients who were not monitoring their own condition. After 3 months of using wireless sensor, 50% of these patients were able to track and manage their asthma condition proactively, while 70% of all participants in the study stepped up their overall self-monitoring activity. So after using the Aclima sensor, we hope that more people can effectively control the diseases and have a better treatment. Moreover, Aclima oscillates a cross-sector collaboration with Lawrence Berkeley National Lab, UC Berkeley, and etc. for the air pollutant health problems like asthma. which can really improve the effectiveness of sensors for patients. There are actually many existing environmental sensors in the market, but some can only measure the general values such as the temperature and humidity. They cannot measure PM. The sensor can measure the PM are usually expensive, and we use the Quick to search the environmental sensors. The largest cluster is bus station, and the second is computer readable, which give us a trend scenario. So, by analyzing these two facts, we're going to build an app on smart devices so patients can read the visualized precise data directly through the app. Now we're going to talk about the technology, which includes the sensoring, neural network, data processing, awareness, and microfabrication techniques, PWR, power amplifier, advanced analytics, and visualization tools. Microfabrication techniques, which consist on the process of fabrication of miniature structures of micrometer scales and smaller. It has made possible smaller, mass-produced sensors that are lightweight and ultimately inexpensive. These technologies' betterments have encouraged the production of microfabricated portable PM mass monitors that could eventually be linked to cell phones for environmental data collection, processing, and transmission. As a result, the costs of monitoring over large geographical areas are decreasing because the signals from widely dispersed sensors can travel over existing secure wireless sensor networks. Moreover, the energy-efficient radios and sensor circuits allow slow maintenance operation without the need for plug-in power and direct operator access. Passive wake-up radio in most of the WSN's applications is inconvenient or even infeasible to replace the batteries of the node, and the lifetime of the batteries is equivalent to the lifetime of the WSNs. Moreover, when a node is active and waiting to receive data, it wasted the energy on idle listening. Since traffic loads are usually low in WSNs, such as idle listening can waste enormous amounts of energy unless efficient communication mechanisms are employed. Hence, to prolong the lifetime of WSNs and increase the efficiency, it's an important issue to design a power management scheme for employing the wake-up or sleep schedules. A study found out that the introduction of PWR can improve the wireless network's effective packet rate up to 67% to 128%. However, the network size, nodes location, hardware design, and plus loss model determine how much the performance improvement will be exactly. Next can also be used to improve the energy consumption of the power amplifier. Again, circuit techniques to improve the efficiency of the power amplifier will be useful. The use of multiple power amplifiers can help to reduce energy consumption. Advanced data visualization software also offers new ways to view data. With the combination of Aclima existing and new technology, and compared with conventional environmental sensor, how it performs better, such as it can be deployed in any scenario, cope with rapid technology changes. It has a better energy efficiency, improved coverage area, enhanced target tracking, superior channel capacity. The global environmental sensor and monitoring market is growing at 7.5% during 2015 to 2020. Currently, the environmental sensor already achieves wireless. Also, as a growing global population, government increases funds in pollution prevention and control. For example, U.S. government spent $250 billion for all pollution control and monitoring activities this year. The main problem for the sensor is it costs too much, so the sensor will be too expensive to be attractive for purchase. And Aclima is trying to make sensors smaller, lower the material costs and energy requirements, and make large distributed network possible. And the BBC research estimates that in 2019, the cost will decrease a lot. The study also indicates that government annual expenditure will increase to nearly $500 million. So as the government subsidizes the sensor market, the price of the sensor will decrease. We speculate that in the 2020, our product can achieve developed functions, include distributed sensing capacity, real-time data visualization, and the availability for data storage. Therefore, basically, the price of environmental sensor is decreasing. The design is improving, and other elements such like accuracy of sensor detection, data storage, and etc. is improving. The sensor will become more and more valuable and attractive for purchasing. In addition, 2 years ago, the data is limited mostly to government, industry, and researchers, but nowadays individuals can use it as well. And also the accessibility of data is increasing as time goes by.